everyone, welcome to A Clean House with Muddy Boots, and today we are moving. I thought I would take this opportunity to do two things. One being an empty house tour because I personally love watching those, and two, I thought that as I am going through the empty home, I would point out all of the things that I am looking for as a tenant coming into a new rental property. I'm sure some of these tips could also be used if you are moving into a home that you just purchased, but because I have not gone through the home buying process myself, I'm not really sure I can speak on that, but I have moved into a lot of rental properties in my life, and so I'm just going to pass on some of the knowledge and tips that I have gained from those experiences. So we're starting in the front hall and the downstairs bathroom. And as you can see, as I'm going around, I'm kind of just testing everything. Lights, faucets, toilets, everything. So then we have the garage over here. And it's just a typical garage. It has a garage door opener, which is missing some lights, so we'll have to put that, but there is a light in the garage right there. And then we do have central vac in this house, which will be nice because we didn't have that in the old house. And so in the garage, I'm kind of just looking for leaks, anything significant that would need to be addressed, but everything looks great. I might just try the garage door right here. Let's see. It works. All right, so we're coming in from the garage and we're just testing lights out. So this one works and this one doesn't seem to do anything. I'm not quite sure what this one does. I'll have to ask the landlord. Then we're coming in here. We have our dining area, which is very similar. Like I said, this is a very similar unit to what we currently live in, so it won't be too much of a big move because I kind of know where everything's gonna go. So just making sure that's working, and yep, it dims. And then in here, we actually got a fireplace, which we didn't have in the old unit. In the old unit, our TV is actually on this wall right here. So we're gonna have to flip everything around because our TV will now go above the fireplace. So we're just gonna test the fireplace right here. I have the switch. The switch is over here. It's that top one. It's up high so the kids can't reach it, which I definitely appreciate. So we're just going to make sure that it works. Oh, there it goes. I think that is going to be so cozy, especially around Christmas. I'm so excited. So my husband and I met in university, so we have experience in living in off-campus student housing. And as well, we also lived in an apartment building when we first got married, so we do have experience with apartment living. And then this will also be our second home move since we've had kids, so there's also that. We have lots of experiences with both good and unfortunately bad landlords, and so I've created a list of all the things that we look for in any rental home before we officially go through with the tenancy and move in. I would say the most important thing is to not be afraid of being picky. Even if it's something that you think you can live with, at least document it and get it in writing and let your landlord know so that on move out, you have documentation that that was there when you moved in and not something that you caused. I love this light fixture. We just had a boring light fixture in the old house, so I'm so excited to get something that looks so nice, and I am super excited about this faucet. It pulls down. You can really get in there when I'm using my Dawn Power Wash to scrub the sink. I don't know, it's the little things, right? The little things that you don't realize that you really would like to see in a house. I also like that this sink is inset and not, like ours was kind of flush with the countertop, so water would spill out. So I'm actually really happy that it's like inset like this. So in the kitchen, you'll want to inspect. So here's our dishwasher. It's different than the model that we have currently, so I will have to do a little research on this just to see how to properly clean it. But I can see the filter at the bottom, so all dishwashers have filters. If you haven't cleaned your dishwasher filter, I would look into it or watch one of my videos on how to do it. But this, I will clean this out before we ever use it. It's just one of the things that you should do when you move into a rental or even a new home that has pre-existing appliances. You should always go through and clean them because you never know what is in the filters. Just looking in the pantry, making sure there's no broken shelves or damage or leaks. I feel like when you move into a new place, you just get so excited that you forget to do stuff like this, but it's really important. And it kind of sucks that we're in this day and age where you have to like document everything just to prove what you're saying is correct. Just to elaborate on that some more, if you've always had great landlords in your past, then this might all seem kind of silly, but it really only takes that one bad landlord experience and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, this process will kind of give you an insight into what the landlord values in this property. Are they in it just for the money? Did they hand you a unit that is full of things that are broken, things that could be fixed up, things that are dirty? Or did they take the time to properly clean out the unit, fix things up, maybe a fresh coat of paint? Because then that'll kind of tell you what kind of effort they're willing to put into this property. Okay, so I will definitely clean this out, but it's good to document this, that the oven was dirty when we moved in. So if for whatever reason I can't get these stains out, which I think I can, these look very typical oven stains that I think I can easily get out. But for whatever reason, it was dirty when we moved in. So the landlords always want you to keep the unit or try to get the unit back to what you got it with normal wear and tear, of course. But it's good to note that the oven was dirty when we moved in. So that's something that I will clean. Now, like I said, don't be afraid to be picky. Having a dirty oven is not the end of the world. I can easily clean it. That's not the point. As long as the oven works, that is really all that I need. However, I'm going to document it and I'm going to send that walkthrough documentation to the landlord so that we both have it in writing, because if things go south when we move out and end up in court, it's a really great document to have. I personally have never been to court, nor do I ever want to go, but I've heard stories from other people that I know that have been, and you really need all the documentation you can get. So I'm just heading down to the basement. In our current place, the kids use the basement as a playroom, so we will do that again. But once again, I'm just looking for any leaks. We had a leak in this exact position in our old house. That was really just from stormy weather. There was nothing really wrong exactly, but it had to get fixed. So I'm just looking for things like that. Because a lot of times when you have a leak in the concrete down there, the stain will stay and you'd be able to see that it happened. So it's something to look out for. It's also nice when landlords leave instruction manuals. I know a bunch of stuff is on Google now, so if I really needed to, I can always Google what the model number is, and usually things will pop up. But it is really nice when landlords take the time to leave stuff like that for you so that you don't need to go looking for that. As I'm going through the house, I'm also making note of everything that came with the unit, whether it's curtains or a mat, just so that I kind of know what needs to be left behind when we move out or what I may need to replace if it gets damaged, because it was already with the house when we moved in. This will be our youngest's room. So again, I'm looking for rips in the carpet, stains, anything that a landlord might throw a fit about when you move out, especially if you move out on bad terms. I mean, sometimes you do your best to have a great relationship and things go south for whatever reason. I mean, I've had bad landlords in the past, and when you start arguing with them, they don't necessarily tend to like it. What I really like is, so this is a blackout pull down, but if you didn't want it to be blackout, up here, if I pull this down, the top half, I'll scroll out a bit so you can see it, is like light filtering, which I think is super nice. Now, I don't know if this is just me being picky, but I just noticed that at the top there, it kind of dips down a bit. So something to document. I mean, I don't know if this would ever break in the future or not. But we'll see. Just something to note. But yes, I do really like this function, how you can have both. I can't pull this up with one hand, so 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right, and so I also checked vents. So in our house, see, I can feel the heat coming out of there. In our old house, we had vents that didn't work. So like this vent in our old house, actually like no air would circulate through. And we thought maybe the vents were clogged, but it's just when your vents have so many turns, sometimes they just don't work as well. So it seems to be the case with this one as well. So we kind of just block it off and let the other vents do a little more work, I guess. Here is the laundry room, which one thing I am super excited about the laundry room is it has storage. Our old laundry room had no storage, and we were putting things on top of the machines, and that just did not look good. But yeah. And I mean, this machine is not what we currently have, so I'll just Google it. But I do see the compartment in the front right there, so that is where the filter is. And then if we open it up, yeah, like it looks good, but there's always, washing machines always hide things like, oh yeah, look at that. Mainly hot water buildup, but still, I will get that before we ever use it. Things to think about when you move into a new rental. Same with the dryer. Dryer looks good. Let's see. I do have a special little gadget for when cleaning out your dryer. So I will probably put that down there and try to suck up as much as possible. Now I will be doing cleaning cycles on all of the appliances within this home,
and I think I'll probably do a video on it so you guys will be able to see me do that. And I'm doing it because I want to make sure that they work, and doing a cleaning cycle will let me know if they work without actually having to put any of our own stuff in it. And then I also want to make sure that they're completely cleaned before I start using them for our own personal items. It's kind of like when you buy fruit from a grocery store, you don't necessarily know who's handled it before you, so you make sure to wash it before you eat it. So kind of like that, I just want to make sure that they're completely clean. I have no idea how they were used or what they were used for before we moved in. So just doing those cleaning cycles kind of gives me a little peace of mind. Now, I don't want everyone thinking that we're entering this landlord-tenancy agreement on the note that it most likely will end bad. We had a great relationship with our previous landlords, and we would like to keep that going. But given the current real estate market right now, we've just come to know that there isn't much protection for tenants. And so if there is anything that I can do that can help protect our family down the road, I'm going to do it. I also would like to establish a relationship that's honest, and I feel like this is a great way to start it off. If I am completely upfront with our expectations, then I would hope that the landlord would be able to match me on that. At the end of the day, though, rental properties are a business, and you need to be able to protect yourself and know your rights.
And then on this side, we have the ensuite bathroom, which I already know that this pole fell down. So we'll just have to put it back up. Yeah, just gonna test some things. Make sure everything's working. Looks great. And then again, there's quite a bit of hard water buildup on that, so I will clean that out. And that looks like to be about it. The other thing that you would want to look for are your smoke detectors. So we got these right here. So that one on the right side is a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector. You can see the little vent that it tests for that. And then this, sorry, let's refocus. And then that is a light that will also go off when the fire alarm goes off. So that one's there. There should be one on every floor.
That will bring us to the end of today's video, but I did just want to go over a summary of everything that I look through when walking through a new rental property. I go and I test everything, lights, faucets, I flush the toilets, I turn on the fans, I test anything and everything to make sure that everything is in working order. I then am also going to check for damage and leaks. Anything significant, anything that immediately pops out to you should be written down, documented, let your landlord know that it's there. If you want it to be fixed, if it's something significant, then that also should be addressed. If you don't want it fixed, just make sure that it's documented. Don't be afraid to be picky. You also want to make note of everything that came with the unit, curtains, mats, anything like that, so that you know what needs to be left behind when you move out. Or if something happens to get damaged while you're living there and you know that it originally came with the unit, it most likely will need to be replaced when you move out. Then I also make sure I test all the fire alarms. I know I said that there is a fire alarm on each floor, but there is also a fire alarm in each bedroom. So make sure that we're testing all of those. And then I'm going to run cleaning cycles on all the appliances. The dishwasher, the washer, the dryer. I'm going to make sure that they're all in proper working order. And then I just want to make sure that they're clean before I start using them for our own personal items. You never know how they're used before. You don't know how they were kept up. Maybe they've never been cleaned before. You just want to make sure that you're going through and doing that. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. And if you haven't yet, I do invite you to subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye!